Okay, good evening, everyone. It is February 13th, Tuesday, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, and we are going live with another drawing and live event with JMD and Cirilla over here. Hello, Cirilla. She made her way over the minute I was starting to talk. But what else is a surprise? This is like this is the norm at this point, right? So anyway, yeah. Weird show tonight because I have no idea what I want to draw. I just finished like 3 pieces of art today. I posted one earlier, and then I got 2 for tomorrow in honor of Valentine's Day that I'll post on my social medias. Yeah. So anyway, and I guess the Gentleman Cthulhu is kind of a hint at one of them, maybe. Well, if you know the comic. But yeah, and I got the horror sideshow convention. It's the New Jersey Horror Con and Film Festival convention. It's one day, Saturday, in Lehigh, Allentown, Pennsylvania, something like that. And then next weekend is Nerd Fest. My convention last week was pretty good, which was the Undead of Winter with the with Reign of Terror Entertainment. I will probably do that again next year because it was such a good show. Anyway, so let's get started here. Who liked the video already? Oh, good old David. All right, so we got it right this time. So yeah, I have no idea. I got these like little wood pieces that I was thinking about working on. Oh my god, that's stuck. Got my little particle board here and all these mini canvases. So I have no idea what it's going to be today. I know that I want to work on something. Yes, Cirilla. Hello. As long as Cirilla lets me work. But yeah. Oh, you know what? I should plug that in now. Anyway, I watched back the footage from last week. I don't really think that the new phone, even though the camera is allegedly better, I don't think it's making really that much of a difference on the live stream's quality. So that's okay, though. I don't necessarily need it to make a big difference. They seem to be going okay as they are. Where are we at? Okay, Cirilla. Okay. You want to take a seat or something so we can get going? Maybe I can draw over the top of you. Anyway, yeah, I'm welcome to suggestions during the live stream today. These mini canvases, as you can see, they're really mini. But I don't know. I was thinking about just trying out some things on them because I thought about doing some small canvases with acrylics, making them available either on my Etsy shop or at conventions. I wouldn't say it's going to be like a standard, but you know, I can use them for some sort of practice on certain things, and then you know, if anything turns out, I bought a couple of packages of these really small canvases and easels. So I figured, what the hell? I've seen some of my artist friends do well with mini canvases. Gentleman Cthulhu needs a parody social media account. Rob. Okay, let me pull that up. Sorry. You might not be wrong. I already gotta keep active on. What is that? I can't believe I forgot my own social medias. I gotta keep up with Darkfire Press, which I do a terrible job with. Mostly because I feel like it's just a publishing company platform for everyone that's under it. So I kind of don't make it the main thing for promotion. And then I've got all my own stuff, right? But you're not wrong. Like him having his own thing would actually be somewhat on brand with him. I guess I wouldn't even have to do extra panels. I could just draw him. Oh my God. She'll never end. She'll never end this affection, but it's okay. Tomorrow's Valentine's Day, Cirilla. You don't have to get it all in today. Anyway. Yeah, but no, it's really not a bad idea, Rob. I can't say that I disagree. Maybe I should just, at least while I'm working on these, move a little closer here. If I do something larger, I guess I'll zoom out again. It was actually kind of in a perfect position, but it is what it is now, right? In for a penny, in for a pound with these. I'll tell you though, I haven't drawn on canvas since I was in college. Oils was a medium that I was trying out at one point. And I remember they dried too slow for me, you know. Sometimes I have impatience with watercolors at times when I really want to get moving on something. But not that it really gives me a lot of trouble, but sometimes, I just want to get moving with something, and I gotta wait for the watercolors to dry. So yeah, those can be a little bit. Let me move down so that I can do that, and it won't get lost on the camera. Maybe a little lower down. I think that Cirilla's going to get in the way of that if she comes back. She seems to have gotten fed up with my lack of attention. Yep, there she goes. Anyway. So I don't know. I don't know that mini canvases are going to be my thing, but oh man, good thing I'm going to paint over it with acrylics. Yeah, I probably should have gessoed that. I think they're pre-gessoed though. They look like they might be. Now it looks really ugly. Ugh. That's okay though. I didn't really do a proper structure on this skull, so it was just kind of like evolving in real time rather than. Yeah, I've been drawing half of the day. The other half of the day has been like scanning and prepping artwork. I have a variant cover I did that I finally scanned today and did the color corrections on. Just one of many things I was scanning today. And yeah, now for some reason, what is that? Dropbox on my computer, not on my phone, is giving me trouble. So I guess I might have to bring that file over to my phone. I usually don't like doing big files from my phone if I can help it. Don't ask me why. It just is something I prefer not to do, I guess. I don't know. All right. That was fun. I mean, I could go right into painting it, but I feel like let's have a couple of these going. All right. Well, tomorrow's Valentine's Day. Right. We could do something with a heart, even though I got something with a heart going on over here, but that's more of a Wonderland thing I got going. Yeah, looks right. Okay. Was that one going to be in front? Yeah, I guess it was. I'm already forgetting where my lines are. Something a little different this week, just me drawing really quick and small. Not a way that I normally draw anymore. Though it is in keeping with the Gentleman Cthulhu post this week, or today, I should say, this week, because, yeah, that's a lot of the way I would draw the comic, is just really quick and small, which eventually was something I wanted to get away from, just because I didn't feel like I was giving my art the, I just felt like I was kind of mailing it in sometimes, like it just was not. Some people have no idea what I mean by that expression, but just half-assing it. Anyway, so I didn't want to do as much of that. That's not why I had stopped it, though. I talked on podcasts about why I stopped it. I know posting something like that gets people maybe a little excited. I'm not done with Gentleman Cthulhu. I just needed a break. As I've said in other places, it just started getting a little political, which was not what I wanted it to be, but that was just everything that my mind was focused on at the time. And I just felt like it kind of got away from the point of it. I just wanted it to be a silly, fun comic. So felt like it needed to take a back seat for a bit until I could clear my head and find the fun in it again. And then just other things sort of took over, I guess. It happens. Mini canvases by JMD. I don't know. I was looking at my table, though, while I was at this horror show. And, that reminds me, there's a Patreon, Dwayne, Patreon supporter who commented on it, because I saw him this weekend at the show. And, on my post about it, anyway, like my mind's gone in 6 different places. I had a really nice time. Oh, right. I was looking at my table. That's what I was going to say. I was looking at my table, and it still feels like there could be a little bit more cohesion on it. I know it's not so much the fan art per se. It's just the type of fan art I'm doing. I'm not saying it's bad or I don't know. Some of the people that come, or I would say most of the people that come to my table aren't even looking for Spawn or Ghost Rider. They really are looking for stuff like my horror, my fantasy stuff. So I'm starting to think it's just worth it to just completely, and a lot of it being original stuff too, because except for the Wicked Witch of the West, all of my witches are original. I have the one dark fairy that sells really well, and my Grim Reaper piece sells really well. So it's like, why would I keep doing things that are not selling as well? And of course, Rob, who's watching here, has been asking for a Gentleman Cthulhu piece for a while. So that's why I did it. as it is at the moment, other than Chadiana and two freelance jobs, and Chadiana includes both the issues that I'm doing plus a kid in the comic thing. Since I have besides those two things, I only have like 2 freelance jobs in at the moment. Oh, which reminds me, I have to send in paperwork. I know that Upper Deck starts next month. I have no idea what to do. Well, could start there. Why not? I have rearranged some of the things next to my table here, and it makes it a little hard to get certain things out when I need them. Oh, Cirilla. Poor timing, lady. Poor timing. All right. Get this guy out of the way, too. Here we go. Paint him with acrylics with JM DeSantis live on Tuesday night. Would help. I could. All right. Now you're just being an extreme thing because I don't have a clue. What did I do with my black? Oh, there we are. Mars black. We're not going to be able to leave it up like that, though. Actually, I don't even know that this is a good idea because that cap's going to come up. Ooh. The disorganized mess. That is my working space. I always love to get a hair in there. All right. All right. Although black. I know you guys can't see that. Hang on. I might try to rectify that a little bit. Nope, that's taking the phone right out of there. Oh. Okay. Sorry. I know everybody loves it when I'm playing with the camera. There's my dark fire press mug with my tonight's tea in it. Okay. Sometimes I will ink under a acrylic piece. But today, that is not what I'm going to do. Maybe have it over here, that would help. Okay, so now when I am doing this, I don't usually worry about this being too perfect because I'm going to paint over it. But if I leave it as pencils, it'll get all over the place. And won't be very representative of my style that way. Oh my God. Oh, sending me reels in the middle of my live stream. Anyway. Something a little different. I mean, I've used a little bit of acrylics on a live stream before, but you guys have not seen how this goes usually. Again, typically I'll do this in inks, but there's been one or two times I started the painting out like this where I just used black acrylic and did the outline with a brush, which again is fine because then I don't get too finicky over the lines because they're not going to wind up being so specific to how they look here. I'm done. Yeah, not sure how I feel about that skull, but moving on. Ooh, got all too watercolory right there. Of course, I mix water with my acrylics to make the move easier. That was one of the things about acrylics that I hated was I couldn't get them to do, like, watercolors was a struggle, but I felt like acrylics were like moving cement across across the canvas or illustration board. And actually, when I moved to illustration board and I started learning to add water to my acrylics, everything worked much better. Taking some of us in there. Now again, I mean these are really small, but you can see my my brush point is not perfect. A lot of times I don't use perfect brushes for my acrylics, but the other thing is too, and as I've gotten better with what I'm able to do with my artwork, yeah, I think that is the way I want to go. This way, top, that one bottom, but then it's going to go over the top of this one. As I've gotten better with my art, I've gotten pretty, depends on the day though, but I have pretty good control over pens and brushes so that I don't always need a perfect point. If I'm conscious and adapting well to how the tool is working that day, I'm usually in pretty good shape. And again, if I've warmed up pretty good throughout the day, that helps. Okay. Right, over, under. Okay. It may seem like extra work, but this is, again, so much of this gets covered. It's just to give me a more solid outline to work over. And I mean, acrylics do dry pretty quick even when you're putting water in them, but a lot of times I'll even do two watercolor pieces at the same time. I was having a conversation about this with a friend, and a lot of that is because I just, you know, with the dry time of the two, it's a lot easier if you're working on two at once, because while one's drying, you can work on the other one, and then you're not losing as much time. It does split your attention a bit. So I would say, and it's something for me to remember too, is not work on two complex pieces at once. By complex, I just mean like there's a lot going on with the lighting or perspective or whatever. But, you know, once you got the whatever it is, drawing down, you're usually pretty good. But yeah, it's good to work on sometimes two like pieces together. But I think I know what I'm gonna do there. Trying to figure out what colors I want to use. Well, actually, maybe I should do the foreground first and then worry about the background. Haha. Well, okay. You win, Jeff. God. I don't have any hot water to loosen this with at the moment. Oh, there we go. All right. Yeah, I don't pour out a lot. Sometimes I will, but you know, especially on a piece like this. But even when I'm working on a bigger piece, I don't usually pour out too much. I don't like being wasteful with anything. Got nothing to do with how expensive art supplies are, although, you know, not gonna lie, it is a factor sometimes. Looking for my burnt umber. Okay. Yeah, but I don't. Well, I don't know if it's going to open, and I don't want to. Oh, there it is. We'll see if this helps. Anyway, yeah, I don't like being very wasteful. I'm using the back of it because I don't want to cut up the what is it? The aluminum or whatever. I just want to try to get some of this out so it loosens it. Not typically how I do it, but I don't feel like running over to the sink in the middle of the live stream, so you can wait till the hot water loosens this cap. Oh my God. Whew. It's my workout for the day. Yeah, that's like a whole gummy. Anyway. Now, if this will cooperate, yeah, I use yellow a lot more often. Sometimes I think I want to take burnt umber out of my palette, but Because I feel like I can get so close to it with burnt sienna anyway. Blood everywhere. Rob, are you okay? Please tell me you didn't like cut yourself or something. I hope not. It was a little out of nowhere for a second. Blood everywhere. Okay. Don't be too dark. Now, I do have a spray bottle that sometimes I will use, but I should have worn a different shirt if I was going to do this. To gorge an artery opening like that. Oh, I gotcha. Well, you know. Gouge an artery. Not wrong. I guess it's possible. I will clean up that eye later, but like I said, I usually put the black down just to have a guide in there. Now, what I didn't do with these mini canvases is just like my watercolors, I typically do put a light wash down over the top before I start painting, but today we're doing it a little differently. Usually I'm having to switch brushes depending on what I'm painting too, but we don't need it for this one. Because such a small canvas. This could be fun though. We'll see. Either this will be a great live stream, little difference for everyone, or this is one's going to be a complete dud. Well, it's 29. We're about to move into 30. Let's do some weird send off to the 20s. Because I'm hoping, I keep saying this every week, but I'm hoping to finally have like a better ambience and intro song. Hi, Jim. Oh, sorry. Oh, my voice is cracking. Don't know why. Maybe because I haven't spoken at all today. Just to Cirilla. How are you? I hope well. I do apologize. I was at a convention Saturday and Sunday. I will be at one Saturday, so, but your voice is cracking. That's a good one. Well, you are a dad, so dad jokes are okay, Jim. Yeah, but I think, what is that, the 24th or 20th, whatever the last Saturday is in February, I should be able to make it to the meeting. Thanks. You're welcome. Okay. Base colors down. It looks a lot darker on my in front of me than it does on that. On that screen right now. thing is, though, I don't want that to get too dry, because I really was going to put a yellow back here. I'll change this yellow, but at least get a base layer down. See, for you acrylic, people that want to paint acrylics, when you add water to your acrylics, they move easier and they get a little transparent. And then, you don't have to worry about, first of all, getting everything right on the first pass, and second of all, like I do with my watercolors, you don't have to get everything precisely mixed. You can let the colors mix through the layers. I find it strange that way, right? Because people get layers in Photoshop, which helps me learn how layers work a little bit better with painting. But I don't know. Some people is very general, but there are some people that find layering with paint a difficult thing to learn. I promise it probably will not stay that yellow, which still looks a little bit dull on the, oh no, it looks dull on my phone. Oh, right, because my phone, I have settings on it to save my eyes from permanent damage. Oh yeah, so it looks right on my laptop screen, which I'm not looking at anymore because my phone is so close to my face. It's funny, every once in a while I think, I write as well. Why don't I write on one of these live streams? What a boring live stream that would be. It's such a, oh my God, it's such a different process that I don't think it would translate well on something like this. Oh, you're really going to be difficult over there, aren't you? Mm-hmm. Now there will be a slight yellow spot right there as it builds up to a more weathered and used piece of an artist's tools. Materials, whatever. Didn't have enough yellow to finish. All right. Cool beans. All right. Bluish green on the back of the skull, yellow on the back of the red heart with the purple-ish thorns. Got to dry, though. That's still drying. So much for acrylics drying faster than oils. Well, they still do. God. Can pocket it right there. Got to keep your fingers tight. Gonna need more yellow, though. Sorry. I'm probably as loud sometimes. Alright, well, whatever. Sorry. I had you all over the place. Alright. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, I guess I can't do that. Gonna have to leave it over there for a second. Feels better. Okay. I wonder if oh no. I don't want ultramarine. I want cobalt blue. Okay. Typically, well, in the past, I only kept ultramarine blue in my palettes. But then I found, what is it? What's called peacock blue in Holbein acrylics. And then that led me to cobalt blue. No, Holbein watercolors has peacock blue. Yes, okay. Got that right, Jeff. And then, yeah, I have cobalt blue in acrylics, which is very close. It will not stay that dark, I promise. Now that I'm using a little bit more watercolor like, but that's okay. Just trying to get my base color down. Because they're so small, I might be able to finish them both tonight. Which was a thought. I was thinking about possibly doing, well, since I have them out, yeah, of course I was thinking about doing acrylics on these. Still drying a little bit. It's all right. We're going to move over again. Now. No, this is the one I want. Okay. Do 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 do. Okay. All right. Now, I'm going to take a little bit of yellow, a little bit of burnt umber. colors always go down first, and then I do all the other stuff. I wouldn't say it kept me in. I mean, there's nowhere to go anyway. No, in the sense that, like, you know, I mean, I work from the studio in my place, but no, I wouldn't say it kept me in. Although there probably were some errands I would have liked to go run because Cirilla's getting low on treats, and I'm getting low on toothpaste. So, you know, maybe tomorrow I'll go to the supermarket, pick up a few things. I know usually people do that before a snowstorm, but honestly, yesterday was the first day off in a while. And I really, right? No, Monday. Oh, crap. Yeah, I could have gone yesterday. What did I do? Worked on a bunch of stuff, including updating my Etsy. So here's a good story, right? Somebody recently bought something from my Etsy. Etsy's been doing pretty good for me so far, but it like really overcharged the person for the shipping. I even like offered I gave them a refund on part of the shipping. Because for some reason Etsy doesn't combine packages if you list things separately as packages. So they wound up paying about double what they should have paid for the shipping. So I contacted my friend Jill Colbert, who helped me out with it. And yeah, part of my day was spent on fixing how shipping works from my shop and how it's priced, because apparently putting a flat rate with an increase depending on how many pieces you buy is more reliable than weighing the stuff in advance. Who knew? But yeah, so I had to revamp my shipping. Why did I mention that? Oh yeah, well that probably kept me away from going out to ShopRite and getting some stuff. I'm not like completely out. I have a good heart. Oh, that's kind. I don't know. I've heard that before. I don't know. I don't always take compliments well. Too many people that aren't sincere. But no, not that I don't think you're sincere, James. I really do. Yeah, I can't. Why would I want to charge somebody more? That just seems unethical. I don't like that. You know, could I have pocketed the money? Sure, I could have. But the woman was buying 3 stickers, and you know, she's going to get charged what? 11 something for shipping? No, they're like 3x3 stickers. I bought her a quicker delivery service just to partially justify what she paid, but then refunded her the rest of the money. Actually rounded up a little bit because, you know, it still wound up being. I'm not saying that for any like brownie points. I just feel like it's the right thing to do. I'm one of those people where, yeah, I will put the shopping carts back because I don't feel like it's right to leave them out. I've just always been like that. I know there was a meme going around a while ago about that, but I don't know. You know, it says something about your personality, whether you put shopping carts back or not. I guess. I would imagine you do, Jim. You really, you seem like the type. Hmm, fun with acrylics today. All right. And you know what? Not that I did the refund for this reason, right? But going back to the refund on the shipping, what kind of business person am I, going from the business end if I'm just gonna like pocket that money dishonestly? Like I would think it translate to a much better shopping experience for that woman, and whether she ever buys anything from me again or not, it's like, hey, look at that. I didn't overpay for shipping. I'm not so sure about that choice. Finding I really don't know what I want that background to be. That might not be it either, but here we are. In for a penny, in for a pound. What's interesting is, so here's another thing while we're talking about it. A lot of people who do their art digitally, we're not talking about AI here, we're just talking about digital artwork. The way they paint has much more in common with acrylics than it does with watercolors. At least the vast majority of digital artists, just because of the way they use the paintbrush tools in Photoshop, including when I do it. When I paint digitally, which I did, one of the three pieces I did today, not that I drew it by hand, but I painted it digitally, it just has much more in common with with how acrylics work. So, yeah, just that semi-transparent, if you change the opacity or flow down on your brush settings, still has more in common with the with your acrylics than it does watercolors. You would have to really um, change the opacity on layers quite a bit to make it more like watercolors, because watercolors are just so transparent. But I think it's just hard to mimic on the computer for me. Like, I have to think more in terms of acrylics when I'm doing digital work, which I'm happy to do. You know, either digital or acrylic. Well, I wouldn't say I'm happy to do it digital. I just try to keep up with it because, like a necessary evil to keep up with it these days. But it's sounding very cynical today. But no, I like doing acrylics, but I just feel that I don't know. Most people like my watercolors, and I guess with good reason, maybe something like that. Mm. Snow is still possible for the next few hours in my area. Who'd have thunk? I thought it was supposed to be done earlier today. I guess I can't do that right now, can I? No. I'm just having fun at this point. Don't mind me. These might turn out good. They might turn out terrible. We're going to find out together. Thanks, Jim. I think that's why a lot of people tune into this thing, as they like watching the process. And again, I would be not being, well, I am pretty messy with my acrylics when I start them out, but I'm kind of playing around with certain things too as I'm doing this. Again, I am going to clean up this eye socket at some point, both of them. But to do that, I think I just need to do a little bit of that over there. Yeah, I think I don't know. It's not going to be anything too fancy, I don't think. Dry, yes. Not the way to check it. Just the way I do it. Oof. Okay. Purple. Purple. Why purple? I don't know. I don't think it's going to work though. Black. Be a dark purple. At least for now. Sorella hair getting in, infiltrating the acrylics here. Atlani has two words: heart, Zak, emotional center, and Tasul, physical pumping organ. That's cool. It really is kind of like two separate things. Anyway, this color might be changing as we go. Yeah, actually the translation of Vandya, which is where Chadiana is from, is world heart. I mean, like a direct translation, but I translate it as heart of the world. And that has a lot to do with in universe, it's geographical location plus where kind of civilization started. So, well, arguably, let's just say it that way. Civilization started for certain peoples who use that as their measurement. But yeah, ooh, lost it for a second. I guess it's not looking. Maybe it just sometimes the screen helps. Wow, what a difference from one screen to the other, though. That's what I'm saying. Okay, here we go. Very cool. Thank you. Well, thank you for the very cool, and Michael, thank you for the Bob. Yeah, it's funny because people say that my voice is calming and that I should do ASMR videos and stuff like that. I have already. Nobody's mentioned a Bob Ross like connection, but I have thought about it once. I don't know though. I'm not really. Happy skulls. You're not wrong. I don't know. Maybe I should do it. Maybe I should. I don't know what I would call it though, because it wouldn't be the joy of painting. The sadness of painting, but that would not be right for the content. I don't know. I'd have to think about it. Comment your ideas in the comments below of what you think I should call my painting show as a parody of Bob Ross, where I paint horror stuff and relax everyone. The horror of painting. You know what though? It's not a bad one. I think that would work. The joy of horror. That's another one. These are very close and obviously very different directions, but equally worth exploring. I'll have to take a big poll. Come on, poll. I mean, YouTube algorithm, please shoot this up. I want me wearing the afro wig would be worth the admission. Yeah, I'd have to. This hair, I can't. I wish I could get more volume with it. It is just the worst for that. Otherwise, I just would grow out the afro, but it couldn't be like a regular afro, right? I'd have to do something. Now, my whole mind's going in that direction. Make it little tentacles or something. Just coming out of my head. Little spirals. We'll have to think on that. We'll have to think on it. Don't do so. Look, yeah, I was thinking that, right? Although she's snakes, but still, it's a very close equivalent, right? I know you guys are not really guys and gals, and everyone not really getting to see this. This is what my palette always winds up looking like, just a mess of trying to move this over more. There you go, Darkfire Press mug. Go to darkfirepress.com and check out all of the books, not just mine, but mine as well. Speaking of which, I need more people to go and review my books. I'm not calling anybody out here. It's a general thing where, like, yeah, I really feel like I need more people out there putting reviews in. Good, bad, or indifferent. I need more reviews on my books. I just got, that was another thing when I saw my Patreon supporter and friend Dwayne over the weekend. He was telling me how he really liked the Kirkland horror and felt that I really achieved what I set out to do when I explained what I was looking for in that, looking to do with that book, you know. Got the hair. Imagine how Vincent Price went white in an afro before he went completely white. Oh, I can't be Vincent Price, though. I mean, that man was such a legend. I don't think I have the energy that man had. Not at least for theatrics, right? Like, I mean, the guy really enjoyed what he did. You swear you'll read Farron before the end of no, I wasn't calling you out, Rob. I was just saying, like, you know, I was happy to hear Dwayne's feedback when I saw him, and, you know, I'm just like, I wish more people were reading it, because he really got, like, the book, you know, like, he understood it, and he really liked the way I told it. And I'm like, oh man, you know, there's just like a couple of responses like that, and then I feel like so much better about what I did. Because I don't know, sometimes I feel like I'm such a strange and esoteric writer that I'm not always sure that people are going to understand what I'm doing. Not that I'm some misunderstood genius. I don't want to get into that idea. I just, you know, I don't know. Sometimes, you know what it is? It's like a conversation. And unfortunately, like, well, here's a good one, right? This is a great example. You can't read tone, right? And you can't always understand what somebody's saying when you write a text to them. So when you're writing something, even fiction, it's very hard to perfectly encapsulate what you're trying to convey. It's why editors are necessary. You know, like, you really gotta, like, try hard. Fahrenheit. What was it? I'm a little confused, Jim, but you may explain in the comments. And, but yeah, like, you know, things can get miscommunicated in text messages. So imagine how hard it is for a writer to really, like, get across the entire purpose of their book without being extra critical about, oh, you too. Oh, now I'm completely losing you, James, and it's Jim, and it's not because I think I'm just not following you, and it's not you, it's me, because your comments are coming in at a different pace than where I am talking. Anyway, yeah. So it's always good to hear people understand something that I wrote, because, you know, I just don't know. I don't know if I used the right words in the right order to get that. Reader needs an Evelyn backstory. Well, you know, I wrote 40 hand pages of backstory for the entire book. I think about Evelyn often. She's my favorite character in that book. But I don't know. I wrote it as a standalone. I don't know. You know, people say I should do a sequel to Robert Phillips as well. You want a prequel to Evelyn, which I totally understand that too. You know, I don't know. I can say this though, you know, and I said this early on when I was developing Uh, the Kirkland horror is my yawning. That I was using it to test out some things that I wanted to do with the Chadiana series. There were certain storytelling elements and plot points and stuff like that that I just wanted to test out. Not saying that Evelyn, her story is Chadiana's story. I don't mean something that specifically. I just mean certain elements in the book and just generally for the world. And I wanted to test out stuff with the storytelling. Mainly what Dwayne picked up on, which is that each character has such a unique perspective and experience within it. So that, the reader really, although they all tie together because of the greater story going on, like, they're very separated in a lot of ways because I don't know, it's almost like life. Everybody's just in that book is having a completely different experience with a completely different understanding, and I don't know, which was part of the book's theme, was understanding and misunderstanding, and the idea of making assumptions based on either poor evidence or poor information, even if it's just the best information you can get. Yeah, there was a lot of that behind it. So, and those are themes I really do want to play with in the Chadiana series as well. Just, I like the idea of giving the reader things to interpret rather than giving answers. Because, for one, I feel like it adds an air of mystery to the books or story. And for another, as I learned much later from some of my later inspirations, but it does give the reader kind of a shared experience with the book, because it's almost like they have a certain hand in creating it. I think it goes back to my theory about, I know this was always like argued to death a long time ago, but I was always in the camp that maybe George Lucas should have never made the prequel trilogies, or the prequel trilogy, I should say. I wonder if the remoteness of it was better, I go back and forth about, even though I absolutely love the Silmarillion, I wonder if, that's a book that should exist. Just because, but it's told in such a way that there is a sense of, uncertainty about all the details of those stories, because they're not told in such a way that you get all the information. But yeah, I don't know. I just, yeah, life's kind of like that. I guess that heart really needs a color for its shadows. We might switch to this ultramarine blue if I can get it open. Painting stream names: Like a Ross, Loved by Squirrels. Yeah, well, I guess I could do a painting live stream. I think not a painting live stream, a painting ASMR. The first thing I was thinking about doing was just a drawing one, because I noticed the sound of the the pencil against paper or board seems to be a nice sound for some people. As far as using my voice on it, I don't know what the hell that I would say that would be so relaxing. Tell knock jokes? I don't know. I'm not really sure. Man. I need more black. Oh, left it out over here like a smart person. Not going to be cooperative though. Oh my god, didn't we just open this earlier? I say we as if the whole stream had a part in that. Ooh, okay. You guys are all well, I say guys, I mean that specifically to a gender. But I just you're all getting a full painting only because they are, as big as my pointer finger. Right? Some not as big as my thumb. No. Well, I don't know. Maybe that one is. What are we doing here? Purple. Dark purple. This time we're going to use the ultramarine. Guess what? I should have grabbed some white as well. Well, here we go. All right. Oh man, that's looking so dark. Don't worry, I will fix it. That's the one thing about acrylics that is different than when I work with watercolors. Although watercolors has its own amount of reckless abandon when I'm working with them. So much of working with acrylics, I can just kind of like put colors down and worry about fixing it later because, that's kind of the point. You go in later and you make all the adjustments. With watercolors, because they're so transparent, it's really hard to take that approach. You kind of have to go from a little bit more, at least the way I work with watercolors, you have to go from a little bit more, I keep wanting to say stiff, but that's not really the word. A little bit more controlled. Not with the watercolors themselves, but like the outline and stuff like that. You really want to nail the drawing down the way I work, and then get crazy with the watercolors, and then you can go back and make adjustments later. But with acrylics, I can get as messy as I want, because then I can go back in later and fix things, all using this beat up brush in this case. Normally I'm not painting this small either, so the tip of the brush is even less of a concern. I'm only really worried about brush tip when it's inks. When it's watercolors or acrylics, the tip could be a little bit banged up. I mean, once it starts getting frayed, that's not good. I try to care for them as best as I can, but like anybody else, I'm not perfect. And sometimes I do dumb things like leave the colors on them when I go run out the door to do something else. Not the best way to care for your brushes. But looking all right. It's a strange looking heart with thorns. I feel like it needs some work. Not even feel, it definitely needs some work. All right, we're getting back to the skull. Skull. We need green. We need gross dark green. And if your acrylics are not moving the way you want them to, just grab a little bit more water. Make sure you dab it out on your paper towel or cloth. Again, in the interest of not wasting things, I usually just use old washcloths or clothes that I cut up or whatever, because there was a time where I felt like I was really going through a lot of paper towel. So I just thought this was a little bit more environmentally conscious. Yes. Sure. Something like that. It's funny, before I worked on these, I wanted to hit up my friends Pete Velasquez and Brendan Shaw, the gentlemen who run Fat Guy Inc., because they do a lot of these like mini canvas paintings, but I think they use acrylic markers mostly. Pete might paint them, because I know Pete definitely paints, but I kind of wanted to pick their brain about what was the best tool I should use for it, because oh yeah, I was painting off camera. Sorry about that, everyone. Now I know what it feels like for the actors who always got to keep their eye on where the camera is. Reminds me of an interview with Aubrey Plaza that she was telling a story about Michael Caine and how, depending on the scene, he'll sometimes use one eye. He retired, I think, now, finally. Maybe. He'll keep one eye for the camera and one eye for the person that he's acting with, so that, one eye he's not doing anything with, which I just find is strange. The eye that's getting filmed, right? If it's like a profile or something, that's the one he'll act with. It'll try just fine. Well, he's looking all right. Maybe. They are very small, but I kind of like how it's turning out. Maybe not. I don't know. Somebody will tell me, or this will go up the algorithm, and somebody will be like, "What the hell? Who is this talentless hack? You don't know how to paint, dude. Go back to art school." I don't know. I'm just having fun in my own head, which is the majority of my day. Thank you, James. Jim. I'm trying to remember the Jim for you, and the Michael for Michael Gracia. Thank you, Robert. That's much appreciated. Now when the haters come 7 years later, when, this goes up the algorithm, they'll be able to look back and say, what? These guys are crazy. They don't even know what they're talking about. No, I don't know. I don't know. So, it's something, I've talked about it before, that I really like texture in my work. And a big reason for that is I always liked the Impressionist painters and post-Impressionist painters. I just never really saw much. Now, look, it takes a lot of skill, so I don't mean to disparage anyone, but I never saw the point in really highly realistic painting. We did talk about this in a recent live stream, because I was talking to Michael Gracia about like the way Drew Struzan works, and the book's over there, so I'm not getting it right now, but whoops, sorry. Off camera again. Really gonna have to wash this brush before I go to bed. Yeah, it looks all right. I don't know. Something about it. Something about it I'm not sure if I'm happy with yet. I guess for a small painting, it's looking okay. I just feel like the skull's looking a little better. Although, to me, it looks a little like that looks right. But when I put it down, it kind of looks distorted to me. I don't know what it is. It's almost like, well, you know what? It's probably the angle, right? I guess the heart does it a little bit. Yeah, a little bit. It's probably the angle of the camera, but yeah, it looks a little distorted on the screen compared to what I'm looking at. I'm leaving that. Rob's looks great up there, like it's a badge of honor. So anyway, where are we? I feel like I got to do something with it, though. We're just sitting here. We got a half hour left. Something's got to be done. Yeah. So the heart might need some darker, straight up black lines on these thorns, especially where it's blending in too much. Well, I don't think I've ever done like a full acrylic thing on a live stream, so this is cool. A little different as we move out of the 20s into episode 30. I still haven't decided. Episode 30 might be the debut of doing the live stream also on Instagram. I haven't decided yet. I really haven't. I'm off to Trials of Empire if I can get Scully out of my spot. Oh, your cat. Yeah, well, have a good night, Rob. I don't know really how much more I can try to do on these. I almost feel like I'm painting just to paint. Well, that's not true. It does need a little cleaning up here. But yeah, have a good night. Enjoy the book. I hope your cat doesn't get too cantankerous with you for that. Cyrilla's just happy that I'm around right now because when I had to go to Pennsylvania, she was, I think she missed me, but I was only gone for one night. Like, she's had it where I've been gone a whole week. When I went to Salem, I visited a couple of friends and then, so yeah, but I don't know. She didn't seem to like it that I left this time. Last time I had to travel was Monster Mania Oaks in November, so yeah. It was a while. Okay. Something about the heart. Maybe I need highlights that are just a little bit more wet looking. I don't even know. I don't know what I'm looking for here, but it just seems like I don't know. Something. It needs something. It needs a little something. I think actually the thorns do too, though. No. Can't find the white because you used it all, Jeff. For all my students out there who I would always talk to about like not putting a brush all the way down to the end of the filament, no matter how much I beat up this brush right now, and even though it's discolored, that paint ends right there at the end. Never dip too far down. You lose control of your brush. It was one of those things I'd teach all the time to my art students. And then I'd watch a whole bunch of people just like, but you know, that's kids, and what are you going to do? Oh, why did that camera go out again? At least it did on my screen. I don't know if it went out over by you guys. All right. I don't know. So now I'm starting not to like the way this looks. There's something about the way I do shadows in 3D sometimes where I just like, I don't know, I think it just looks like crummy. It's a very small paint. All right, what about the skull? You got any more? Actually, I can't get any lighter because I'm like an idiot. I went, used all the white. I'm thinking. Okay. Two last things I want to do. And both are going to require white. Probably significantly less white than that, but so much for not wasting paint. Okay. The first one is nope, it's not looking any lighter. Come on. Let's go. Anything? All right. Hair's getting in my way now. I mean, I am really liking the skull. Still not sure how I feel about that heart, but I don't know. What do you guys feel is a fair price on small canvases? $10? They're really small though, but did take a lot of effort. I was thinking 10. I'm not saying, well, I mean, if anybody wanted it off the live stream, yeah, but I haven't been doing that anymore because nobody was taking me up on it. But if I took it to a show, I don't know, $10 for these little things? Oh, man. Oof. Gonna pop a blood vessel in my head if I do that again. Where'd that go? I haven't touched my tea in a while either. Again, using the back of the knife over here. Maybe put it away, JM. That would be a good idea. Put it away. Oh my God, really? Gold paint. That's going with the heart. But, oh man, it burst. All right, let's try to hold that in. Oh my God. These older caps are the worst. I like the newer ones. But man. As you can tell, I don't use my acrylics nearly as much as I use my watercolors. Otherwise, I wouldn't be having this problem right now. Oh, man. Wow. I'm actually proud of this live stream, just for what it's worth, giving myself a little pat on the back here, because even though they were many little nothing things, I did 2 pieces from start to finish, and they were acrylics. So now what I'm doing over here is mixing white in with my my gold paint. Why do I do this? Well, gold paint, for whatever reason, doesn't really cover an area very well. So I find it is sometimes I'll use even some whatchamacallit with it, some yellow, just to make it look a yellow gold, or I'll use brown if I want it to be more of a, well, not brown, like a, what do you call it? Burnt sienna. And I'll do that just because, yeah, like the gold paint really does not get good coverage. It's kind of hard to see, but I'm doing a little bit of it right now. Like that brownish yellow just kind of comes straight through it. It's very hard to cover with it. It almost goes on like glitter glue. It just doesn't cover an area. Thing is, it looks great on a painting, and then when you scan or photograph it, it loses all that gold. So it's almost like, what is the point? I stopped using it as much. Gold paint and silver paint, which I also have, just because it just doesn't replicate. All right. Mm. You know what, though? Maybe the slight transparency on the gold would be good. I'm not loving how the highlights look on this heart. I just don't know what it is. I feel like I've done better highlights on red surfaces, and this thing is just bothering me like crazy. I don't know. Maybe giving it some gold will just make it have a nice texture. It's another thing that's harder to do with watercolors is I can't just do little spot colors in here. Oh, yeah? Oh, well, okay. So $10 is a good number. I just, I'm looking at, and here's like, let's measure this, right? That's 2.5 by 3.5, and that one's 3 by 3. So yeah, they're like really small. My friend Jill sells, I think, 6 by 6 or 7 by 7 canvases for 25. I don't know what Brendan and what's his name? Oh my God. I have to stop doing that, forgetting people's names on a friggin' live stream. So all I need is somebody like watching and be like, thanks, JM. I've known you for how many years? Jerk. Anyway, yeah, it happens. Actually, you know what? Speaking of names, you know how many people call me Jim? I got a lot of people thinking my name's Jim. That's why I made that shirt recently. It's just to stop all the Jim calling that I get. Well, good. $10 is a good price. I'm happy about that. And I am not taking that as you actually interested in it. But if you were, you can email me about it, James. One or either of them. Otherwise, yeah, I'll take them with me to conventions. I'm probably just going to start focusing more on the horror and fantasy stuff because that's what people buy from me. That's what I really like to do. Every time I get talked into, oh, you are interested in it. Well, and that's entirely up to you. I appreciate that if you are. And I should probably stop playing with it if you're happy with it. We're almost at the end anyway. We can just look at the glorious completion of a night's work on these two canvases that are less than the size of my hands. But it was fun to do something a little different for a night. I don't know. Sometimes when I just finish work on something, I wouldn't call it artist block because I think that artist or writer's block really is just anxiety, people just overthinking, or they're just getting too tense about something. But I do get a little blocked up creatively when I've just finished pieces because it's just like, oh my God. It's like, what am I supposed to draw now? And a night like this doesn't allow me, that time. I'm supposed to actually spend about 1 or 2 hours on Tuesdays now working on my languages, Jim, and I haven't done that. I'm embarrassed to say, but this would be a day to do that so that it's not so much art time and then I don't wind up at the live stream with nothing to do. Because for a while, at least, I'm not going to be able to work on Chadiana, and I can't work on my freelance gigs on the live stream because, I don't have permission to do that. So it's got to be little side projects. I have other stuff here, like on this white paper over here. I mean, like I have the beginning drawings of some T-shirt designs that I wanted to do, and I got like 2 other T-shirt designs I want to complete. Actually 3. I want one for Darkfire Press, just sort of an Alice in Wonderland one, a vampire one. a Chadiano piece, and then I want one that's just JM DeSantis, and I'm also going to use the design on my banner, and I'm going to get my I'm going to get a horizontal banner for kind of my new setup, and I want to get a new tablecloth at some point because that tablecloth's a little outdated. I'm not using the black and gold color scheme as much. It's really black and gray and either some red or purple. So I want the obviously the stuff to match. Anyway, I don't want to end early. Who stopped in today? Decent amount of people. We got a decent amount. I can't even see them all because one is blocked out because, Facebook won't show me everyone. I had a good amount of friends at least stop by for a minute or two or 6. Anyway, up close, you can kind of see the gold paint. Oh, I really love the way it looks. And again, this was the reason I got into molding paste and acrylics is because of one of my favorite artists, and I've mentioned her before. She's this Japanese artist, Ayami Kojima, and she also uses like gold paint. I don't know how she gets to still look gold when they reproduce it, but I have not been as fortunate. And this is the skull at better proportions when it's not elongated because of the angle. I think that's the hardest thing to see about it. I did paint the sides of both of these. For anyone. For what it's worth, though, I mean, we could do this again because I got 1, 2, 3, 4 of these guys or gals, and I still want to try out this. Like, I think this was another thing I bought when I was in Salem, and that was when I also bought the don't scratch the canvas, man. That's also when I bought the mini canvases. I got a couple of these. One 9x12, and that looks like about 6x8. And then it was partly for display purposes, but I got a bunch of this. No, it's not particle board. I forgot. Masonite board? Yeah, masonite board. And I've heard it's really nice to paint on. I kind of started drawing a vampire in there, which just went nowhere. Maybe I'll finish it. I need some bigger horror pieces because I noticed that all of my prints that are horror or fantasy are in the 8.5x11. And I only have the Pumpkin Witch and the Cthulhu piece and the larger pieces, but I kind of need more because a lot of the rest of it is fan art, which I'm not saying anything against, but, anyway, just kind of babbling at this point. Well, since you say you are interested, Jim, yeah, just send me an email about it so I don't forget it and I can put it to the side for you. If anybody else is interested, because I don't know if Jim's interested in one or both. I guess the heart, yeah. And yeah, Cyrilla's going to obscure the camera. Maybe we'll just go back over here. What's that going to do? We're going to go, let's see. Oh, here we are. Oh, and of course she's gone now, right? Anyway, yeah, I guess I'll be selling these for 10 each. Well, I think Jim's got the claim on the heart though. But yeah, so maybe I'll do them again next week, or maybe I'll be back to something arguably more productive. I don't know. Anyway, yeah. So I'll be posting some new artwork tomorrow. in honor of Valentine's Day. So look out for that on my social medias. And then, yeah, I'll be at the horror sideshow market at, I think it's the Delta Lehigh Valley, whatever. It's in Pennsylvania. If you follow New Jersey Horror Con and Film Festival, they've got it there. Yeah. Anyway, so I'll be back next week, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, Tuesday, February. What's today? 13th. So I'll be 20th, maybe 19th, 20th, something like that. Anyway, yeah, my brain seems to be going into a fog. So have a great night, everyone. I will see you next week then. Take care. Good night. And yeah, I need this thing up. Oh, see the joys of doing this live. Anyway, good night, everyone.